It's Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyker along with Al Losi as the warm temperatures kind of settle down a tad bit. The hot temperatures of the racetrack just keep on going, and we saw that very evident last weekend in a couple of our divisions at the lacrosse, namely the Sportsman and Thunder Stocks. We had some flip-flop point leaders go away and come back, and in one other class, they went away, and let's see if they can try to get back on top again. Yeah,
and it's so good to see that the way that the Speedway does their points really does create this sort of a situation where because the winners and the points leaders have to start in the middle of the pack, it makes the points just jumble almost every week, and it's kind of nice as we're getting this late into the season to see such incredible point battles. I think we're going to find all four of our classes at the Crosse Speedway. They're going to be finalized at Oktoberfest. Last year at this time, I want to say two of our divisions were pretty much in hand, right, like some of the Rookie of the Year point standings. But this year, I don't see why we're not going to be crowning champions, all four champions at Oktoberfest. And as you were talking last week and a little bit before the show this week, it's not going to come down to just two drivers. It's going to come down to 3, 4, and in one case maybe 5 at the end of the season. So this new structure of points is really making things interesting. Well, we're going to start things off recapping last weekend's races at the Crosse Speedway, and he's not figuring into the points, but I got a feeling Steve Carlson is going to play spoiler here towards the rest of the race season. Not sure how many more races he is going to miss, but we're going to flash the last two for you on the screen right there. And one huge adjustment for Sean Paff, qualified fastest again, picked up some points there, and with his second place finish in the feature, as you're going to see right here, also picked up some more points to climb in right behind Todd Korish. Yeah, people don't realize this 6-for-6 dash is so important because of the number of points you can make that go towards your season total of points. If you don't get in that top 6, you do get points for being in the other heat races, but nowhere near the number of points. So the track really makes it to where you really have to try to qualify as well as you can. And if he's taken away points from the point leaders in this dash, those are a lot of points not going to the leaders. Well, as you saw right there at the finale of the feature last weekend, as Steve Carlson did end up on top, and he didn't take but 2 or 3 laps to get past Jeremy Wagner, who obviously, I don't know how he has more poles than anybody else for the past 2 seasons. It's incredible. So Carlson started 7th, finishes 1st. Right behind him was Sean Paff, Brad Powell 3rd, Jay Herbst 4th, and Todd Korish 5th. So your point leaders all ending up in the top 5 of each other. For the points, though, Todd Korish is still on top of the point standings, only 8 now in front of Sean Paff. And I think the interesting question that I hear people ask me this past week is, can Todd hold on to that point lead? You know, he races so smart. He doesn't put himself in jeopardy, and by doing that, it gives him such an advantage over some of the other drivers. He really is out there to win a championship. It's good to see someone actually racing for a championship. Well, Brad Powell's only 40 points back. He is 2 in front of Brent Kirshner for the top 3, which, you know, if you've got some sponsors and you want to flash what you did the season before, finishing in the top 3 in points would be outstanding. Jay Herbst is in the top 5. He's currently 5th. Kirshner, by the way, is 42 points back. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. And, you know, we got a big race coming up here soon enough, the showdown matchup, which was rained out last year. We're going to take the top 8 model drivers at La Crosse and have an elimination series of races to find out who is the top-notch late model driver out of the top 8. To the Sportsman we go, and for Steve Bachman, did something he's never done in his career at the Crosse Speedway, qualified fastest. I think it even surprised him when he was watching the scoreboard up in turn 1 when the qualifying was ended, and then he went into the feature and did something else he's never done, won a feature and quick time qualification at the same time. Before that, though, Doug Curran is done for the year. You're going to see the number 22 car here in turn 1. Luckily, one of our KQEG TV cameras was right there. And again, I've said it 3 or 4 weeks in a row, if there's a hard luck award to be won this year, Doug has got to get it hands down. He has just not been able to shake the demons the entire season. Yeah, we had him on the show here 2 weeks ago, and he had a problem with his, as you see the crash there, he had a problem with his shifter and his transmission, and now he got that fixed thanks to Joe Reinertz, and now we have this situation. And that was Hesselberg and Schermerhorn. If we slow this one down right here, man, he was pinched up so far against the wall. Hesselberg had nowhere to go.
and front end damaged one, back end damaged the other, and they sure left the race. And that was early on in the race night as well.
This almost reminds me of the late model wreck we had a week or two ago.
See that back end just kind of crumple up right there as we slowed that thing down right underneath the, that's 2 weeks in a row now we've had a crash underneath the camera.
Yeah.
Our guest, as a matter of fact, pretty much knows about that
Yes.
crash. We're going to talk to him about that here in a couple of moments. So Bachman wins the feature event and quick time qualified for the first time ever. I had to hold on only through 2 restarts, though, as you're going to watch right here. And this was interesting how the end of this one fared, because you had Randy Humfeld clawing his way through the field. You had Jake Arneson coming through the field. Billy Martin, Dr. Noyes was right there as well. Aaron Haas, who's put together a fantastic race program this season. So you had about 6 cars that were gunning for Bachman, and he told me after the races, he said a third restart, he may have been done.
Yeah, and Aaron Haas, you threw out his name there. He didn't race much last year, and he spent a lot of time working on his car and really getting it ready to go for this year, and it really has shown.
Also, one of the strong cars trying to finish the top 5 right there was, I can say, your Rookie of the Year in the Sportsman's class. He's got about a 400-point lead. Jack Letchheim, who's done an outstanding job this year. So Greg Scheck finishes 2nd. Aaron Haas takes 3rd. Point leader Randy Humfeld 4th, and Jake Arneson was 5th. Earlier in the night during qualifications, Jake Arneson did wrestle the point lead away from Randy Humfeld, only to come back and finish right behind him during the feature event. Lost a couple of points there. So heading into this weekend's races, it is Randy Humfeld only 2 points ahead of Jake Arneson, and Greg Scheck is 36 markers back. You really can't count him out yet.
No, not at all. 36, because as we mentioned, that invert and how they're doing things, 36 is easily over. You can overtake it.
Well, on the other side of this break, we're going to recap the Thunderstock races from last weekend, and the first of 2 trailer races of destruction, and I enjoyed that one. There was a lot of, it was interesting to see what some of the people were actually towing last week, and we're going to talk to folks about that here. On the other side of this break, this is Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.